What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Busy Life Podcast. Today, I've got my husband Ryan with me.
Hello.
And today, oh my gosh, I'm losing my voice. Today, we're going to share 29 life lessons for anyone and everyone. And you might be thinking, why 29 and not 30? But that's because this past Tuesday, I turned 29. My birthday is 12/12. December 12th, and I turned 29 this year. So, something I've been doing for a couple of years now that I've adapted from a friend or two is 29 lessons or 18 lessons or whatever amount of lessons according to your age. And I don't even look at the ones I've written for previous years. Like, I didn't look at the one I wrote for 28. I didn't look at the one I wrote for 27. Brand new things that have applied to you this year. And granted, of course, some of them are different and some of them are the same, but it's what I've learned, relearned, or really used every day this year. And the one thing I kind of like about my birthday is that it's in December, and it kind of goes with the whole like concept of, how everyone does the whole like new year, new me thing. Well, mine is like, it's a nice way of reflecting on the entire year, like the entire 2023. I can think back to like the beginning of it and reflect on it at the end, not just for New Year's, but for my birthday too. So I want to share with you guys some lessons that I've thought about over the past week. And like I said, some of them I've been preaching on here since I've started my podcast in March. And then others are a little bit more personal, some are funny. But yeah, 29 lessons for anyone and everyone. And the reason I picked 29 is because your girl turned 29 on December 12th. And Ryan is here because he hasn't heard them yet. And I was telling him about them earlier today. And we kind of decided it would be fun if, he reacted to them with you guys and maybe share some things that you guys are probably thinking yourself. And we can elaborate on them and we can tell some good stories about everything. And he can add in some insight as well. Ryan would have 30 lessons for anyone and everyone. But right, what?
You just gotta put me on blast like that, huh?
Right, because
yes,
I forgot.
I'm old. I get it. Thank you.
Well, I forgot that 30 is so old.
Oh, it is. And
Oh.
my body's aching as we speak.
Oh my God. Anyway, I digress. So let's get to it. I'm going to start with all of these lessons, and I just want to point out that they are in no particular order. They are just kind of what I've been thinking about since Tuesday, and I just want to share them as they came to me. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Okay. So lesson number 1, be unapologetic. Can you sit still?
Just getting comfy.
Lesson number 1 is tell Ryan to get comfortable first. No, okay. Lesson number 1 is be unapologetically you, weird and all. And I say that because I feel like I spent a lot of my even younger years trying to please everybody. When I think back to middle school, I think back to how it in my head, it mattered whether you had Uggs and a North Face or if you shopped at Abercrombie or Hollister. And there's nothing wrong with any of those brands, but I wanted so badly to have those brands because if I didn't, I wasn't cool. And nobody from any of those stores told me that, or from any of those brands told me that. But the kids at school did. And if you didn't have those things, you weren't in the popular group. And I know you all know what that feels like. And if you were somebody who was in it, that's awesome for you. But I came to learn as I got older that that was really not what I wanted. I wanted to be myself. I wanted to be a kid who loved dance and a kid who was really good at math but hated reading, and a kid who loved to exercise and work out but didn't want to always get made fun of for how thin her legs were. I mean,
Wait, you
I,
were good at math?
yeah.
I
What's
didn't
that
know
supposed to mean?
that. Really?
Yeah. I did not like reading.
What's the highest math you finished?
Uh, Calc.
How'd you do?
We gotta see. Calculus was
But she was
hard.
very good at math.
I was. I was a math kid over a reading kid, okay? If you put me in any math class, I did way better in that than I did in reading. However, I was really good at writing. I loved writing. I got A's on all my papers, and I love editing papers, but I hate reading. Sorry to everybody who loves it. I try. I buy all the self-help books because those are the only ones I read. But like stories and stuff are like just certain
You're
books.
missing out.
Well, I want to be a good reader, but I get bored after a while. Can we go back to my lessons?
Short attention span.
Anyway, I felt like for a long time in my life I had to pretend to be somebody else to fit in. And it wasn't until college when I started to really find myself and find who I was. And I think that I made that lesson number one because that's one that I've really tried to live by for a while now. And I'm very proud of it. Even though Ryan is making fun of the fact that I got a C in calculus because that's not real math. Nobody goes around doing calculus, okay? I got an A in everything else. Let's go on to number two. Number two is also something that I live by: routine and consistency over motivation. Always, always, always. I always say that something is better than nothing because when you do something, you keep up your routine and you can keep up with your consistency. Even people who have the most shredded body, or they are the most successful, or they have the biggest income, they will tell you it is because they do not stop. They rest and they reflect and they learn always, but they don't give up. They are consistent. They show up no matter what it is that they need to do because their routine and consistency is what makes them successful. Are you sleeping?
No, I'm just getting comfortable.
Oh my God, he's got his head down. Wow. Anyway,
Keep going. I'm listening.
here I am preaching to the choir about routine and consistency, and Ryan's got his head down. But I'm serious. My routine has been. It's funny because my routine is what has made me stay consistent. It has not been my motivation because there's many times, especially now that Ryan and I like to go to the gym in the morning, there has been many times that my routine has made me consistent, which has made me successful because motivation is not there and motivation doesn't always exist. Actually, motivation doesn't exist at all except for when I open up a package of workout clothes. Then I'm motivated. Then I want to walk in the gym. Otherwise, that's not good because I shouldn't always be opening up a package of workout clothes. Number three is good music and dancing can turn your whole day around. I love dancing. I was on a dance team for a long time and I was the VP of my college dance team. I loved it so, so, so much. And dancing just brings me a ton of joy. And music does too. I always am listening to a music or a podcast episode when I'm in the car, going for my walks. And there's just something about putting on a good song after a bad day that makes you feel better. Number four is, I already said this already, but that's funny. Something is better than nothing, but nothing speaks volumes too. Now, the whole something is better than nothing thing goes with my routine and consistency post, or not post, my routine and consistency lesson. But when I say nothing speaks volumes too, that's kind of more in terms of like relationships. I have been in relationships before where I give and give and give and give, and I feel like I'm getting nothing back. Their silence and their lack of response or lack of effort should speak some kind of message to you. It might not be the message you want, It might not be the message that you were hoping for, or that you thought this person would give. But honestly, nothing speaks volumes as well. Nothing is still a response. So that's kind of like a deeper lesson that I've learned, but it's something that I always have to keep in mind too, because I don't want to be the kind of person who's constantly giving and giving and giving and not receiving when I know I deserve it. Number 5, move your body daily and don't take moving your body for granted. There's so many times that I talk to even just like some of my older family members about how they I'm always telling them how they need to be working out. They need to be exercising, they need to go to the gym, they need to strength train, they need to do something. And a lot of the times they'll tell me, "Oh, I'm older now. I had a double knee replacement. I have osteoporosis. I had this. I have that." And it's just a lot harder for them now than it was when they were younger. And I get that. I'm not taking that away from them at all. But I completely believe that if you keep up with moving your body and you move your body daily, your body will thank you. And in turn, it will reward you because our bodies are meant to move. They're meant to fluctuate. They're meant to change. We're not supposed to look the same way forever, but it is still our job to take care of our body. Just because we're going to get older, just because things are going to sag or wrinkle or whatever, doesn't mean that we still can't take care of them. So, yeah, move your body daily and don't take moving your body for granted. I made those two things are one. Number 6, never be ashamed of what makes you happy. And this kind of goes with my whole concept of being apologetically you. Don't pretend to fit in. So when I say never be ashamed of what makes you happy, again, that's don't pretend that you like things just because other people say they do. Don't say that you're going to do something just because somebody else is doing it. But what I really wanted to emphasize on was don't be ashamed of what makes you happy. I feel like even still at 29, there's people that I've met in my life that still judge me for certain things. Like maybe it's liking a song. Like I have a lot of friends that don't like the fact that I like Taylor Swift. And I don't really care because Taylor Swift got named Person of the Year by Time Magazine.
Oh, here we go.
I'm telling you.
Don't get started on Taylor Swift.
I
We'll
don't.
be here all night.
I don't care. I am a Swiftie. I have been for a long time. I still have her first album on a CD, so try me, okay? And I don't care. I did not get to go to the Eras tour, but Justin and I are going to go to Miami and we're making it happen. And there's so many people that are like, "Oh my God, like, why is Julie always plays Taylor Swift? Julie this, Julie that." Mind your own business. Okay? I don't make fun of other people for the music they like or the clothes they wear or whatever. Oh, Julie's always wearing workout clothes. Why is Julie always buying workout clothes? Again,
I think you could add something onto this that you're talking about.
What?
Is to not care as much about what other people think.
Well, yes, that's what I'm saying is don't be ashamed of what makes you happy and don't pretend to fit in. Don't worry about what other people think because you should be doing what makes you happy and you should be playing the music that makes you happy, wearing the clothes that make you happy, do the things that make you happy. And who gives a shit if other people don't like it? It's not their life and it doesn't matter. The end. Number 7, life is better with a dog. I mean, it's just that. Okay, first of all, we have 2. We have Duke, who is our angel baby. He's a black boxer pit. He's the sweetest thing. He's a great dog. And we have Tucker, who is also so sweet. He's a lab basset hound, a Bassador. But he has a nickname. And if you have kids, you're going to need to lower the volume for a second because his nickname is Tucker the fucker. He chews everything and anything. I mean, pillows on the couches, the windowsill, Ryan's socks, even when they're on his feet. But I still stand by the fact that life is better with a dog. Or pets. Maybe you're a cat person.
Yeah, I was going to say pets in general.
Yeah. I mean,
that gives you routine also.
It does. But they love you unapologetically. They are so happy when you come home and you are their world. And sometimes I just wish that, we could be as happy as Duke and Tucker are, because I know they don't have responsibilities like we do, but they are just so happy when we come in the door. And we got to start doing that more often, just with our life. Just have more happiness and not worry so much, because our life it's short, guys. We never know how long we've got. We never know how much more there is. And there's just a lot of things we could learn from our pets that we should be adapting as humans. So number 7 is life is better with a dog or your pets. Number 8, be kind. You never know what people are going through. That is something I have always learned, and always, or I shouldn't say something I've always learned. It's something I've always practiced. I was taught by my dad early on the phrase, kill them with kindness, because you never know what somebody's going through. And there's actually a whole episode on that here at the Busy Life podcast. There's an episode called Kill Them with Kindness, because there is just too much hate in this world. I mean, something else I wanted to write, but I didn't, because I just didn't really want it on my list, to be honest, is don't watch the news all the time, because it just makes you feel so negative. I mean, I know we need to know what's going on, but I promise you it's probably on Instagram. It's probably somewhere really quick. You can find it. You'll probably hear it from your friends talking about it, or somebody's going to text you about it. But you really don't need to have the news on all the time. I'm a firm believer of that. I know other people are as well. I just think it's so negative. It really is. And we need to be spreading more kindness and love rather than more hate, more reasons to judge, more reasons to talk about all the things that piss everybody off. And the bad thing is, instead of educating people, it's continuing to piss people off too. So our world is so depressing right now. And I just really think that we need to be focusing more on kindness. Number 9 is stand up for yourself. Don't let people think that they can walk over you. That is something I've actually had to learn a lot. I am typically a more, how do you word it? I don't want to say people pleaser, because I refuse to use that term. However, I am more empathetic and will bend more than the
You're non-confrontational.
Yes.
You would rather you want to find the route that makes everyone happy.
I do, but I don't want to call that,
creates the least conflict.
Yes, but I don't want to call it people pleasing, because I'm not trying to forget about myself. I feel like
that's
when
the problem with that approach, though, is usually you're so focused on everyone else that you kind of get thrown by the wayside.
Right, which is why I'm trying to say you need to stand up for yourself, because coming from somebody who is non-confrontational but also doesn't want to fall under the category of people pleasing, I've had to learn then what that means then is standing up for myself and keeping my boundaries. I can still have other people's best interest in mind and my best interest in mind, but at the end of the day, I'm going to have to choose myself, because I don't think my coworkers are going to choose me. I don't think my clients are going to choose me. I mean, that's amazing if they do, but they should also be choosing themselves. And unfortunately, if you teach people that they can walk all over you, they will. and they will start to do it all the time, and they will expect a lot out of you, and they will constantly expect a lot out of you, and then expect more from you than from somebody else because they've been taught that you'll just do it, that you do anything and everything that they ask for. So you can still keep other people's best interest in mind, and you can still try to find a way to be non-confrontational and have everybody's best interest, like I said, but you got to stand up for yourself and keep your boundaries. So that's where that comes from. Number 10 is treat the people who love you the most, and the people who you love the most as well, the best. Those people deserve the best from you, and you deserve to give them the best, and you deserve the best from them as well.
Even when they drive you crazy.
Ryan.
Hey.
No, it's true. It's true. The people who you love the most really do need the best versions of you. And there's a lot of times when we take out our emotions on those people. I know there's been many times that I've come home from work and I'm stressed and I'm tired and I get mad at Ryan because
It's okay. I do the same thing. So,
but because like maybe the dishwasher isn't unloaded or the trash hasn't been taken out. And we're human. I'm not going to pretend like we'll never do that again. But what we really should be doing is lifting each other up. And yeah, we can work on that. Even though I don't like it when you don't empty the dishwasher.
oh, sorry about that. I forgot it was my sole job.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it ever.
No.
Oh, this is so enlightening. Oh my God.
No.
I guess it's just me. It's just me that does that.
It is. No. Number 11 is be present and put the phone down. Obviously, I want you guys to listen to this podcast. I want you to listen to your music. I want you to connect with people on social media, but please don't live your life on your phone 24/7.
Just clearing my throat.
I know a lot of our lives are connected to social media and connected to our phones, so I'm not going to tell you to not have your phone because I personally can't live without it right now. But I do know that in order to fully live your life, you need to be present and you need to put the phone down more. Number 12 kind of goes with that. It's spend time outside. It fuels our soul. It feels good. Everybody who is a solid listener of the Busy Life podcast knows that I love going for a walk outside, and it is my number one recommendation to anybody. And quite literally everybody that has told me, I need to find more happiness in my life. I need to do this. I need to do that. I will always tell them start by going for a walk outside every day. There's just something about that connects you back to yourself. And it's something that I will always cherish. Number 13 is eat the damn cake. Who cares? If it's your birthday, you deserve a piece of cake. If it's not your birthday, you deserve a piece of cake. But nobody cares as much about if you ate that cake or not, if you do. You and a lot of other people listening to this care way too much about the food that goes into our mouth, and it is not healthy. Yes, we need to be eating properly. And yes, we need to be eating in a way that makes our bodies feel good. But the more you worry about that one cookie you had with your lunch, or that one piece of pie, or that one piece of cake you had, or whatever it is, you are doing more damage by worrying about it for the next 24 hours than you are if you just enjoyed it and you just moved on. Come on, guys. Food is meant to bring wonderful memories as well. I'm not telling you to eat a piece of cake every single day, but I am telling you that if you choose to do so, move on and enjoy it. Again, life is short. I know there are specific nutrition goals that every single person has, and I will not come on here and give specific nutrition advice, My inbox is always open for that. But in general, do not put so much weight on one food item. It's not worth it. It damages it, it sabotages it, and it forever prevents you from being able to enjoy it when you really should just enjoy it and move on and make your next choice a healthy choice. So eat the damn cake. Number 14 is do the things that scare you. That is the only way you'll get over your fears. I will say though that I am not a fan of frogs. I'm just not. And I still have yet to ever touch or pick up a frog, but now I am not afraid of standing next to a frog. So we've graduated a little bit.
So that means that you'll go on all the rides at Hershey Park and watch all the horror movies then, since you're
Listen,
doing the things that you're afraid of. I see it on the list right here.
you know what? Listen, okay? I don't mind horror films. I've gotten better. I saw a few with Ryan recently. There is just a little bit of some of them that give me nightmares and keep me up all night, and that is I call that a lesson learned. I don't watch things. It's like reliving a bad dream every time. Like, why would I watch that? So some of them, yes, but anything that's like paranormal and like supernatural, no, thank you. You won't catch me watching that. Rides at Hershey Park, I do them. I just do them with my eyes closed. So I still go on them. So yes, do the things that scare you. 15, confidence is what?
Keep going.
What are you afraid of?
I don't like heights.
Okay, well that's good. You go on the tall rides.
No, like if you're like standing at a cliff or something, like a top of a building, and you looking over the edge, gives me like a that vertigo. I don't like that feeling.
Oh, you get dizzy?
I mean, I just get like really uncomfortable.
Okay.
I don't like heights because I'm always imagining falling, or slipping or something.
Well, now I'm gonna need to take Ryan to the Washington Monument and go to the top and see how he feels.
I mean, I've been to the Grand Canyon.
Okay.
So
did you go to the edge?
Yeah, as far as you can go.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But I mean, still, it's just that's the one. I think that's the only thing. Oh, and swimming in the ocean at night.
Oh well, God,
that's a big one.
Well, hopefully that's just like my movie fear. You just
too.
Don't do that.
I mean, I've done it.
Yeah, but don't. That's when sharks eat. Now, hopefully there's somebody listening that can like correct me or educate me on that, but I've seen enough films, and not like, I'm not talking like staged movies. Like we've watched some realistic nonfiction things on the internet that are real stories of people that have gone in the water at night and not very good things have happened.
Yeah, you talking about Cameron Robbins or something?
Yes.
Yeah, everyone knows about that. That's a pretty major news story. So
okay, well, still, I don't. You won't catch me swimming in the ocean at night. That is the fish's home. Fishy can enjoy their ocean alone. I'm not bothering them, and neither will you be. Anyway, number 15 is confidence is just showing up. I used to have a lot of or lack of self-esteem when I was younger. And I'm just really proud of the person I'm becoming and the person I'm evolving into. And I've realized that the confidence comes from just doing it, doing the things I love. Like we said from the very first one, being unapologetically me, and the right people show up and the right people support you and care for you. And that's really all that matters. And that's all you need. Number 16 is the clothes are meant to fit you. Okay? You are not meant to fit the clothes. There is no point in having an extra small dress in your closet if you will never fit into it and make your body fit into it in a way that is healthy. If you have to starve yourself and do hours and hours of cardio to get back into that dress is no longer for you. Instead, you need to buy that dress in the proper size. If there is a top that used to fit you, but then you gained some weight because of COVID, and you keep telling yourself, I'm going to fit into it, I'm going to fit into it, I'm going to fit into it, but it's been a couple years and you still don't fit into it, that top is not for you. Having clothes in your closet that remind you of a past you that is unrealistically a version of you now, you've evolved, you've changed, and you need to move on. You do not need to fit the clothes. The clothes need to fit you. And that is a whole other level of self-confidence and self-awareness, and it's hard. It's really hard. And honestly, I want to do more episodes on that. But trust me, just look at the top, look at the dress, enjoy the memories that you had in it, and donate it. It's okay. There is still another cute top, another cute dress that fits you perfectly and makes you look amazing. But it's not those two anymore. So remember, the clothes are meant to fit you. You are not meant to fit the clothes. Number 17, dream big and put in the work for it, which kind of goes with number 18, which is you'll never get what you want by sitting on your butt all day. It's as simple as that. If you want something, you have to put in the work for it, which goes back to number 2 of create a routine that gets you to your goals and be consistent. If you want something, you have to put in the work for it. If you want to lose the weight, you got to start exercising. You got to start eating right if you want to feel better. You got to study if you want to get the A. You got to practice job interviews if you want to get the job. You got to make the episodes on your podcast if you ever want it to reach the people you want it to reach. I mean, this is just the way it has to go. You have to put in the work because nobody got what they wanted by just sitting on their butt. I mean, we were talking about Taylor Swift. She's not person of the year from Time Magazine just because she sat at home all day and wrote songs on her phone. No, she put in work. She has 10 albums out right now. I had to count them in my head for a second. 10 albums. And there's been so many times that she's got knocked down and then put back up and then knocked back down, then put back up. She's been working her ass off. She said in her Time Magazine article that when she decided she wanted to do the Eras tour, she trained for it and she would run on the treadmill and she would sing her songs so she wasn't out of breath and she wasn't feeling bad when she was on stage. I mean, she earned this tour. That's what you guys have to do too. That's what I have to do. That's what we all have to do. We have to put in the work if we want to create something and actually make it worthwhile and be successful and be proud of it. So dream big and put in the work is number 17. And then 18 is you'll never get what you want by sitting on your butt all day. Number 19 is spend the money. It'll come back. And I mean that. I spent some money this year traveling more than I've ever traveled. I mean, I went to Mexico, Miami, Jamaica. I mean, we went to so many different places and I have no regrets. And I hope that I continue doing that because the money comes back. I know that's touchy. And I know for everybody, every life experience is different. Some people live paycheck to paycheck. Some people don't. Some people are struggling. Some people are not. But if you can, just spend the money. Your life is short and you will regret the big opportunities that called your name that you didn't take. Now, I do want to add on to that. This isn't something I wrote down, but if you really can't, be smart, okay? And start saving up for those expenses and saving up for those opportunities because you do want to take them and you want to be able to live the life where you can go to Mexico and you can go to Florida and you can go to Jamaica and you can go to Italy or wherever it is you want to go. That kind of goes back to dreaming big and putting in the work. If that's something you want, do what they did back in the old days. Get that jar and throw in some money every time you find it, or have like a swear jar, or create a bank account where you add money to it because this is a goal for you. I mean, if it's worth it to you, then the money shouldn't be the biggest worry. I know that is so much easier said than done. I mean, I will go into money on a whole other episode, so I get it. But I promise you, I have no regrets on my Mexico trip. I have no regrets going to Miami. I have no regrets with Jamaica other than I was sick. But I have no regrets on the money I spent for beautiful life experiences. With that comes number 20, which is save for the things that mean the most to you. So, for example, these trips we're talking about here. It means a lot to you to be able to travel the world, to be able to provide for your family, to be able to look in your bank account and not fear that you're going to get an overdraft fee. That's important, and you should be saving for those things. So that way you can spend the money on the experiences and on the opportunities. What you don't need is the newest pair of leggings. And yes, I'm talking to myself because I am the same way. I am a shopaholic. I love Amazon. I love Cleo Harper. I love Nike. I love a lot of brands. None of those are sponsoring me. They're just my favorites. I get it. But we have to be able...
like you said, it's the dopamine rush from the shopping and getting a new package.
Yeah.
It's a big challenge.
The motivation of, I have new workout clothes. Yeah. But seriously, I mean, we need to start differentiating wants and needs. So even though your Mexico trip or your big family trip to Disneyland could be just a want at the moment, it doesn't mean it'll never happen. You just now need to save so that you can spend the money on the experience. So 19 and 20 kind of go together, just like 17 and 18 do. Number 21, I have you're never too old to be a student again.
I like that one.
Yeah. Being a teacher has always taught me that. It's amazing that there's always something new that is being taught, that kids are learning and we are learning as adults. But I also take that into consideration because as a personal trainer, you have to continue your certification every 2 years by continuing with education courses and continuing with different personal training courses. And honestly, I love it. That's how I've become a nutrition coach, and it's what led me to being a women's fitness specialist. And now I'm looking into corrective exercise. It's just really special to be able to always learn something new and always be a student, because there's always going to be something that you learn, which is, actually, I made that number 29. You learn something new every day. But it's true. You're never too old to be a student again, and you learn something new every day. My mom always says the day you stop learning is the day you die. What?
Oh, it's kind of morbid.
It is a little bit morbid, but you know what? It's true, because
it is true, though, yeah.
Living your life doesn't just mean you get up, you breathe, you eat, you go to work, you come home, and you repeat. That's not living your life. That's just kind of in this like horrific momentum. You don't want that. Mm-hmm. You want to be out there doing new things, trying new things, learning, growing, experiencing, expanding. That's living. All right, and then let's see. 22. Things will only make you temporarily happy. Happiness can be created by you. So just like we said with the new package that comes in the mail, That's just like a temporary high you get, that dopamine rush. But if you want to do something fun and you want to have a good time, it really is up to you to create it. What were you going to say?
I was gonna say, yeah, you could tie that in with the um, saving for things that mean the most. And what was the 22 things will only? So things will only make you temporarily happy, but I think you could even go into it further and be like, experiences are worth way more than like those things,
Like
like
the right now
physical
gifts.
objects.
Oh, well, that too.
Like usually, I would say an experience is worth so much more.
Absolutely. I would rather,
Like go on an amazing trip rather than get something really nice. I mean, it varies per situation, but
well, I would say I would rather spend the money for my family to go to Disney World than go out to dinner every week.
yeah.
That's the kind of thing. It's like,
Because you're making memories,
yeah.
things like that.
And it's not to say that you don't make memories when you go out to dinner, but for me, I would rather have the big life experiences that I get to look forward to and that we've earned and worked hard towards rather than, you know, buy a new phone case, buy a new Apple Watch, buy the newest laptop. Like, I don't need all those things. I don't need materials. I need people that make me happy. I need to get outside. I need to move my body. I need to surround myself with the people that make me happy. And I need to do all of these things in order to feel like I'm living. And one of those things is not buying materialistic items because those don't make me happy. They make me happy temporarily. And I'm not going to pretend like I'm never going to buy a pair of leggings again because that's just not true. Or like I'm not going to buy a pair of shoes again. But am I going to buy like 7 pairs of shoes right now? No. But I am going to prioritize what I need, what I want, and how are my actions helping me reach my goals. Number 23 is anxiety and depression doesn't define you. That one's really personal because you all know that I struggle with anxiety. I have for a very long time and a little bit of depression, and it is not easy. I mean, we have a few episodes on anxiety and depression, so I definitely recommend that you check those out. But just please know that they don't define you. There is help available, whether you choose to get a therapist or not. Maybe it's because you can or can't afford it. Anxiety doesn't define you. You are way more than your anxiety and than your depression or than your suicidal thoughts. If you need help, please remember that this podcast is not meant to be a replacement of any kind of medical advice. It is just meant to be here for you and I to talk, to have a fun conversation about ways that we can help each other, but it is not meant to replace the advice of a medical professional. So please just remember that. Your anxiety and depression don't define you. 24 is change is inevitable. The world is always changing. We are always changing. Our friends are always changing. Our family is always changing. The house we live in will always change. I mean, it's just that.
I think you could add something onto that too.
What?
I mean, this is what you've learned, but I think adding on to change is inevitable. You could say that to worry less about things that are out of your control.
Yeah, worry less about the change too, because
a lot of change is also out of your control.
That is true. That kind of goes with the anxiety too.
And you tend to worry about things that you have no control over.
And it's because I have no control over it. You're right.
Right.
And that's kind of what led me to thinking about this because I can't control those things. So I've had to learn that change is going to happen whether I like it or not. I mean, and it's as small as coworkers are going to come and go. And it can be as small as, my shoes are going to get dirty after I wear them, or it can be as big as I might not be friends with the same people I was once friends with, or that I could lose a family member that used to be in my life 24/7. I mean, you never know. But change is part of life and we can't control it. So instead, we need to embrace it and we need to be able to roll with it. Number 25 is a little bit of a lighter note. You probably need to drink more water. Everybody's probably super dehydrated unless you have a massive jug of water with you all day long. So it's just kind of a funny one I put in there that says you probably need to drink more water. Number 26 is start your skincare routine ASAP. Start a skincare routine. I promise you guys, once I genuinely started taking care of my skin, my acne actually went away. And what I meant by that, or I'm sorry, what that meant for me was going to the dermatologist. I needed to go to the dermatologist because I had horrible hormonal acne. I had to go on Accutane. There was quite literally nothing else that was working. No face wash that was working, no cream that was working, no nothing, no pill, no nothing. And when I finally said, I've had enough of this, I've had enough of going to appointment after appointment and trying different products, I went to a dermatologist that I actually connected with, and he was like, it's time for Accutane. And now I have a skincare routine that I keep up, and it has made a difference. It really has. The Accutane helped get rid of the acne, and now I appreciate my skin because for so long I hated it. I love that I have an olive undertone. I love being Greek and being able to go in the sun and get some color, but I hated my pimples. I hated the way my face looked without any kind of makeup. So I'm telling you, if there's something about your face that you don't like, that's not fair to you. Your face is beautiful and you deserve to feel beautiful in your skin. And if you don't, there is ways that can help you. Start by going to a doctor to see if they can help you with your acne because acne is just not fun and it's so normal. It is so normal, guys. And you deserve to love your skin. You do. Which also, you probably need to drink more water too, because sometimes your skin is just really dry because you don't have enough water. And this is not to say that doctors will fix everything, because I had acne for years and I still get a couple pimples here and there, even after being on Accutane. My point is, you need to do something about the things that make you upset and see if there's anything you can do, first of all. And if there is, why not do it? Right? We deserve to look in the mirror and love what we see. And if you don't, it's going to take some work, but don't give up. That's essentially what I mean. Number 27, gratitude and attitude are everything. So let's go back to that whole concept of your skin, right? What if you look in the mirror and you don't love what you see? So many of us do that. So many of us pick apart our stomach, our cellulite, our bags under our eyes, our acne, our saggy boobs, our skin hanging from our arms. I mean, you name it. It's really sad. But what you can do is be grateful that you're alive, that you're here, that you have the opportunity to do something with your day, to look in the mirror and see a human that has the skills to change the world a little bit. That could really do something with their day and make somebody else's day too. And to take care of themselves is the first step. To be grateful that you were given another opportunity and to change your attitude from, you know what, this fucking sucks, to I fucking got this. because you'll never see the change you want in yourself if you don't start from within. And that does come from looking in the mirror and not hating the body that you see. It's okay to be disappointed. It's okay to be unhappy. It's not okay to hate it and to constantly pick yourself apart, because then you will never get better. So start practicing gratitude and change your attitude, because that little flip from the negative to the positive, that's what changes your day. Number 28 is the quality of relationships you have is better than the quantity of relationships you have. You could have 50 friends and barely know any of them, but it is way more important to have that one friend that you know absolutely everything about and you can count on, trust, and know that they are there for you. And like I said, number 29 is you learn something new every day. And I hope that you learned something by listening to this podcast. I hope one of these, if not many of these, resonated with you just as much as they resonate with me. There's so many more things too, but I, of course, limited it to 29. And I know some of these things were funny, some of them were deep, some of them were silly, some of them were cliche. But I really hope you can listen to this episode and take it with you and apply it to your life. Because you guys, we all deserve to be able to look in the mirror, be proud of what we see, put in the work to have the life that we want, not take it so seriously, embrace the change, love the people that we love the most, receive the love back. We deserve it all. We really do. But it does start with you. So I want you to go out there today. I want you to do something that makes you happy. I want you to get some fresh air. And I want you to be thankful for what you have and start putting in the work for the things you want. Any final thoughts?
Oh, I think you named a lot of important things. I like the gratitude and attitude bullet. I think that's really important, and it really, um, is something that you can take with you throughout your whole life.
Yeah.
And just, I think, stopping to appreciate, who you have in your life and what you have in your life more often is a good thing to do. Because people are moving so quickly, and when you lose things, you lose people, and yeah, it all happens really fast.
That goes back to the other things we said, like change is inevitable. Don't be on your phone all the time. Be present, guys. So I want you to let me know which one of these life lessons resonated with you the most and which ones you are going to start applying to your life today. Thank you so much for listening. Let us know what you guys think of the episode, and we can't wait to talk to you next time.